I ask a simple question. I don't have an answer. I'm not pretending to have an answer. I'm not going to give you an answer. I'm going to ask you a simple question. If that's Caitlin Clark, does she get ejected from that game? Drawing consecutive technical fouls. The ejection happened after Reese was called for her 5th foul and was, quote, disrespectfully addressing, end quote. Now it's at about 16 to 17,000. The ratings for the WNBA draft was 2.446 million, which was the largest in WNBA history.
The statistic that got everyone talking comes next. She had a stunning 9.4% shooting percentage that night. Indeed, 9.4. It was awful. It resembled an excerpt from a blooper reel rather than a WNBA game. She did get a few rebounds, to be sure, but a large number of them were on missed layups, which only made things more frustrating. She was even mockingly dubbed My Bounds by fans.
It does not mean much at this point in my estimation. Let me tell y'all why I'm bringing this up. Over the last few days,
I'll take that because look where women's basketball is. People are talking about women's basketball, but you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball.
At least. Look at the wave that she's created. Look at the profile that it has granted the WNBA.
Yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too, and I want y'all to...
There were no surprises from the media. She had one of the worst shooting performances in recent memory, according to ESPN commentators. Even whether her effort was up to the minimal standards required at the professional level was questioned by one commentator. However, Reese's issues extended beyond the box score. Her annoyance was evident. She yelled at a referee throughout the game and was given a technical foul, demonstrating emotional instability rather than resiliency. Off the court, things weren't much easier either. Teammate Camila Cardoso was seen on camera leaving Ree in the middle of a conference call, clearly annoyed. This merely heightened conjecture regarding the team's escalating chemistry problems. It became clear that Reese was dealing with more than simply personal issues. The entire Chicago Sky was being impacted. The stress she brought with her depressed team morale and the losses continued to mount. The choice to break up with her was ultimately unavoidable.
The WNBA rescinded the second technical upon further review, according to a league source, drawing consecutive technical fouls. The ejection happened after Reese was called for her 5th foul and was, quote, disrespectfully addressing, end quote.
And just looking at that, like, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates. And
since she's arrived in the WNBA, that's kind of story gained national attention. It was something that was debated on my day job.
This wasn't just one player's poor performance for the Chicago Sky. The goal was to make a statement. Going viral or having spectacular moments are not important in the WNBA. It all comes down to results, professionalism, and consistency. What does this signify for Angel Ree and the Sky's future, then? Unbelievably, Reese's performance wasn't the only reason she was removed. It was a concise statement of the team's future principles. The Sky ultimately decided on culture over anarchy, despite their hopes that she would boost the franchise and provide star power. More important than publicity, hype, or controversy were winning and chemistry. There was more to this move than just numbers. The goal was to establish a tone for the entire company. For more fantastic content, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like the video. Regards.
All justifiable because they were people that were pounding the pavement and going through so much to help elevate the WNBA's profile.
like, it's not just because of one person. A lot of us have done so much for this game, and Kennedy has been here before, obviously, but
The reality is that the max contract in the WNBA at this particular moment in time is $250,000 to a player. I ask a simple question. I don't have an answer. I'm not pretending to have an answer. I'm not going to give you an answer. I'm going to ask you a simple question. If that's Caitlin Clark, does she get ejected from?
It was the kind of problem that could not be resolved by a flashy promo or highlight reel. The choice Reese made to trademark My Bounds was a wonderful representation of how her priorities had changed. She mostly relied on self-branding rather than honing her craft or disproving detractors on the court. With brand collaborations and well-written remarks, her Instagram gained more notoriety than her stat lines. Many admirers thought she was more concerned with developing a persona than honing her performance. Compare that to Caitlin Clark now. Clark was busy putting up 30-point games and thrilling spectators, while Ree was busy promoting a nickname. The noise wasn't wasting her time. She was letting her game speak for her.
I think so many people are watching women's basketball right now.
Yeah.
It all started from the national championship game, and I've been dealing with this for 2 years now.
Now it's at about 16 to 17,000. The ratings for the WNBA draft was 2.446 million, which was the largest in WNBA history.
If I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like,
Just remember, you want to lift her up too, because as she rises, the whole league is going to rise, and everybody's going to.
There is no more clear contrast. It's the difference between promoting a certain image and giving the kind of performance that supporters expect, and they certainly noticed. Since Reese's appearances weren't creating hype or selling out tickets, even ticket scalpers began avoiding games with her. Nor did analysts hold back. Why should anyone spend their hard-earned cash on a player who appeared to be more interested in hashtags than in putting in effort?
and understanding like, yeah, negative things have probably been said about me, but honestly,
the doubleheader that opened the season generated over 1.5 million viewers, which was more than the WNBA had accumulated in more than 2 decades.
people are pulling up to games. We got celebrities coming to games, sold out arenas, like just because of one single game.
Reese addressed the media following that controversial technical foul on her.
One major question resulted from all of this. Angel Reese never gave her all to pursue a career in professional basketball? Or was the WNBA only a platform for celebrity? Her future is undetermined at the moment. There are rumors that she might play abroad, join the G League, or perhaps give up basketball completely to concentrate on developing her personal brand. One thing is certain. Regardless of what happens next, the page has already been flipped by the Chicago Sky. Instead of distractions, they are rebuilding around a culture of outcomes and focus. Ree is at a crucial juncture in her life. She must either get back together and focus on the game again, or else she runs the risk of becoming a cautionary story of skill overshadowed by the spotlight. A more profound reality is revealed by Angel Reese's tenure in the WNBA. Without the drive to improve, discipline, and attention, raw talent is insufficient. The Chicago Sky made a difficult but obvious decision. They put team cohesion and victory ahead of WNBA reactions. Distraction clouds the potential of players and fans. According to one insider, talent is just one component of the equation. Even the brightest stars can become dull if they lack the motivation to change. Reese now has the upper hand. Will she quietly disappear from the spotlight, or will this be the wake-up call she needs to rekindle her career? What should she do next, in your opinion?
There are so many great players in this league that have deserved this for a really, really long time, and luckily, it's coming now.
I'm just asking. If it's Caitlin Clark, do you think that referee ejects her? You know better. Angel Reese is a rising star in the WNBA, drafted 7th overall by the Sky 2 months ago. And if everybody's benefiting, at some point in time, although it's frustrating that it took so long, and it's frustrating that it's being given to somebody.
2 minutes ago, the WNBA world was shaken to its core. Headlines blared across social media, news outlets scrambled for confirmation, and fans, both supporters and critics, held their breath. Angel Reese, the self-proclaimed Bayou Barbie, has just been cut from the Chicago Sky. And no, this isn't about stats. This isn't about minutes. This is about something much deeper. Locker room tension, a tidal wave of media backlash, and a brewing civil war inside the WNBA that's finally boiled over. Let's be clear, this isn't just about basketball anymore. This is about ego, influence, and the collision between brand and team culture. Angel Reese came into the WNBA as a media phenomenon. From LSU to the pros, she carried with her a swagger, a marketable image, and a fan base that hung on her every TikTok and post-game quote. But behind that glittering surface, something darker was festering. Sources close to the Chicago Sky reveal what fans never saw on the court: fractured chemistry, resentment in the locker room, and a growing sense that Reese was becoming bigger than the team itself. It all started with whispers. Teammates allegedly frustrated with her attitude during practices, her unwillingness to fall in line. One veteran player reportedly told a team staffer, "This ain't college. You don't get a crown here for doing the bare minimum." And those words weren't said in jest, they were said in anger after a now infamous practice where Reese allegedly walked out mid-drill. Frustrated over too many corrections from the coaching staff, multiple insiders describe her as uncoachable, combative, and more focus on building her brand and building team chemistry. And if that wasn't enough, then came the media blow-up. After a string of games where Angel Reese either underperformed or was benched, national media began questioning whether her talent truly translated to the professional game. But instead of rising above the noise, Reese did what she always does. She fired back on social media. In a now-deleted tweet, she hinted that some people just mad they can't do what I do. It wasn't clear who she was targeting: coaches, teammates, reporters, but the message was unmistakable. Angel Reese wasn't going to humble herself for anyone. Unfortunately, that only fueled the backlash. Within hours, mainstream sports media pounced. Segments aired across ESPN, Fox Sports, and even major WNBA podcasts dissecting her attitude, her maturity, and her place in the league. Skip Bayless called her the most entitled rookie since the WNBA was founded. Stephen A. Smith, who initially supported Reese's rise, backtracked publicly, saying, "I wanted her to be the face of the league, but right now, she's turning into a problem." The backlash grew so severe that WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert was reportedly forced to address the situation behind closed doors, urging teams to manage narratives better. But it wasn't just the media who'd had enough. The Chicago Sky front office was watching it all unfold and losing patience fast. A pivotal moment came after the team's latest loss, where Reese, frustrated and boiling over, reportedly had a verbal altercation with assistant coach Jeff Pagliacca. Details are scarce, but insiders say it was loud enough to be heard through the tunnel, and the phrase, "You don't respect what I bring," was shouted more than once. That night, multiple teammates allegedly skipped their post-game media availability in solidarity with the coaching staff. The locker room was fractured, divided, and everyone knew something had to give. So when news broke this morning that Angel Reese had been cut officially listed as waived for roster restructuring, the league knew the truth. This was punishment. This was the Chicago Sky drawing a line in the sand. Let's not sugarcoat it. Angel Reese being cut is a nuclear move. This is a top-drafted rookie, one of the faces of college basketball just months ago, with multi-million-dollar brand deals from Reebok, Beats by Dre, and Coach. She sat front row at the Met Gala, rubbed shoulders with Cardi B and Kim Kardashian, and been hailed as the future of women's sports. And now, she's unemployed. A cautionary tale in the making. But is it over for Angel Reese? Some say no. They point to her undeniable potential, her rebounding skills, her charisma. Others argue that she can bounce back, maybe with a different team, a different coach, or a humbling lesson learned. But those are optimists. The realists, they're saying something much colder. She's done. Done not because she lacks talent, but because she failed to adapt. Because in a league that's still fighting for media space, equality, and cultural respect, Angel Reese became a distraction. And in the WNBA, where the margin for error is razor thin, distractions don't last. This isn't just a sports story anymore. This is a cultural moment. Angel Reese's fall from grace highlights the razor-sharp tension between influence and accountability, between celebrity and teamwork, between brand and basketball. The WNBA, already a league navigating identity crises, racial tension, media narratives, player favoritism, just witnessed one of its biggest rising stars crash headfirst into the reality of professional sports. As for Chicago Sky, their silence speaks volumes. No lengthy statement, no drawn-out farewell, just a cold press release and a restructured roster. It's business. And Angel Reese, for all her flash and fire, just became a liability they couldn't afford. So now we wait. Will another team take the risk? Will she issue a public apology? Will her sponsor stay loyal? Or will this be the beginning of the end for someone who flew too high, too fast? Because in professional sports, especially in a league like the WNBA, talent gets you drafted, but character keeps you employed. And tonight, Angel Reese might be learning that lesson the hard way.